Hi everybody, Miss Eden here. Today we are going to review how to rename mixed numbers, okay? And the reason why we are going to do that is because tomorrow I am going to send out another review video on how to subtract mixed numbers. Now, some of you may remember that when we subtract mixed numbers, we sometimes have to borrow from our whole number. So in order to do that, we have to understand the concept of borrowing and renaming our mixed numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here. And I am going to first start by drawing out 4 1/3. Okay. So hopefully you guys remember this. Okay. Where we drew out our circles. Okay. 4 1/3. Okay. So that's what 4 1/3 looks like. But what if I traded out a whole? I'm actually going to switch here. What if I traded out a whole to then be 3/3? Okay. Well, if I did that, then instead of one whole here, I would have 3/3. Okay. Here I would have 1/3. Okay. So my new renamed fraction would be 1, 2, 3 wholes, and then 3/3 plus 1/3 would be 4/3. Okay, so if I renamed that again, okay, and borrowed from this whole, I would have another 3/3 here. Okay, so then I would have 2 3/3 plus 3/3 equals 6/3 plus 1/3 equals 7/3. Okay, are you guys kind of seeing the pattern here? Okay, I'm going to borrow again from this whole. Okay, so that whole then becomes 3/3. Okay, so now I have 1 3/3 plus 3/3 plus 3/3 equals 9/3 plus 1/3 equals 10/3. Okay. All right, let's try another one. So here I have 3 3/4. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to draw 3 holes, color it in. Okay, and then I need one more circle to represent 3/4. Okay, so now if I am going to trade out a whole, okay, I need to look at my denominator, which is dealing with fourths, okay, so I would break that one up into fourths. So this would represent 4/4, okay. This is still representing 3/4, okay. So right now, another way of saying 3 3/4 would be 2 wholes, and 4/4 plus 3/4 equals 7/4. Okay, so can I still keep going? I sure can, because I have 2 wholes here that I can borrow from. So I'm going to go ahead and break that one into fourths. Okay, so now I have 4/4 plus 4/4 plus 3/4, which equals 11/4 and a whole here. So 1 11/4. Okay, I have one more whole I could trade. So here I have 4/4 plus 4/4 plus 4/4 plus 3/4. So 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals 12 plus 3, 15/4. Okay, so I'm wondering now, because remember, we always talk about efficiency. And I'm wondering if you guys can kind of think about looking at these numbers. What is a pattern you see or a strategy that would hopefully require you to not have to always be drawing out the pictures? Okay, now if you're not there yet and you still need to be drawing out the pictures, go ahead and do that, okay? But I'm hoping that we can eventually start to see the pattern, okay? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what it could look like, what my mathematical thinking might look like without drawing the pictures, okay? So I know that I am dealing with fifths here. I know I have 5 wholes and 2 fifths. So I know that if I trade out a whole, okay, I'm going to be taking a whole away, okay, and that whole is going to be represented as 5 fifths. So I would be adding then 5 fifths to 2 fifths, okay? So that would then be 4 and 7 fifths, okay? So again, with 4 and 7 fifths, I know that I'm taking out a whole. So if I'm taking out a whole, that my whole number is going to go down to 3, okay? And that I would be adding 5 fifths to 7 fifths, which would be 12 fifths, okay? So again, I know I'm taking out a whole, which would be 2. I would be adding 5 fifths to 12 fifths, and that would be 17 fifths. Okay, again, taking out a whole, which would give me 1, plus adding 5 fifths to it, okay, which would give me 1 and 22 fifths. Okay, my last one, I'm not going to have any whole number, right? But I would have 27 fifths because I would be adding 5 fifths to 22 and 22 fifths. So that would give me 27 fifths. So all of my renamed fractions are right here, okay? Let's see if you guys can try one on your own, okay? So here you go. I want you to try this one on your own. Go ahead and write this down, okay? And go ahead and solve it. Okay, let's go over what you did, okay? So hopefully you're feeling a little bit more comfortable with this. So if I am going to borrow, then I have to understand that I'm going to be taking out a whole, which again is going to be represented as fifths. So my whole number is going to go down because I'm taking out 5 fifths. Okay, so now I'm going to have 2 and 8 fifths, okay, taking out a whole for 5 fifths, so then I would have 1 and 13 fifths, okay, again, taking out a whole, so my last renamed fraction would be 18 fifths, okay. I am going to give you some practice problems to work on today, okay? You can either take a picture of your work in your notebook, okay? Just like a regular sheet of notebook paper, take a picture and upload it, okay? Or you can email me your answers, or I think you might be able to do fractions on a journal page, but I'm not sure, okay? But somehow I would like to see your answers, all right? And Miss Webster or I will check them over, all right? Hope this is a topic that you're comfortable in, because tomorrow we're going to get into subtracting mixed numbers. All right, I will see you tomorrow.